greetings. If you are new here, igama lami uSiphelele Xulu, and please don't leave without subscribing. You are welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, ngithanda kakhulu. We are coming here with the third episode of a story time when I dated my sister's friend, and it ended in tears, and there was a revenge after revenge. So today we are coming with the episode 3. If you haven't watched episode 1 and episode 2, you might lose this series of events. So I suggest that you go back to watch episode 1 and episode 2 so that you can follow what is happening on this series. On the last episode is when it ended, when I actually admitted that I'm seeing someone, and even Bookworm was also having guards to tell me that the crush and the homegirl will be part of the event of the gala dinner where I was gonna be his partner. So before we get to the story, I don't have a drink, but I'm finishing my drink that I've been drinking while I was preparing the story time. So don't worry about my drink. And surely I've drank like the whole bottle, so which means like I'm excited to share the story. I am not as fragile as I was on the episode 2. Now we are coming with another juicy part of episode 3. So the last time I was talking about when me and Bookworm, we have actually parted around 5 a.m. after all those juicy things that are coming on episode 2. So around 5 a.m. then Bookworm had to leave my flat, and then I had to sleep. I remember that I didn't even sleep so well. I didn't even having a quality sleep, but I slept for a few hours. I remember I woke up around 9 a.m. Now this is the day of the gala dinner whereby I am going to be a date for Bookworm. Woke up in the morning around 9. I took a bath and then I head to saloon. I remember those days I was a girly of bob cuts. I'm actually going to put the picture of those days. I know I have the picture. I can take a picture and put a picture here so that you can see how I looked around those days when I have my bob cut. I was a bob cut girl around those days. So, and I definitely feel like it really suits me. So I went to the saloon, took a walk to the central, because remember I told you I was staying at Willows, and then now I had to go to the town. The Willows was a suburb not far from town or in town, and then now I had to walk. I think the walk distance, it could take like an hour, just you walking to the saloon. I walked to the saloon, got to the saloon, do the hair, my bob cut, which was very amazing, but I was still very shaking about me admitting to Bookworm that I was seeing the Swati guy. Come back to the flat around 3, and then when I came back now, because I've left around 10 I think, because I woke up around 9, I took a bath, and then I went to the saloon. I came back from the saloon around 3 p.m. When I came back, obviously it was a time when I was supposed to prepare for my suit, because for that gala dinner I had my peach suit that was very beautiful, by the way. So I prepared it, I ironed it with my corset, everything that you can think about when you are going to the dinner, and the shoes, everything was ready. And probably around 4, remember I said that my sister was not around, but my sister came back around 4:30. And also other friend of mine, I'll share about that friend at some point. It was just an elder lady who was also staying at the same flat, but we were very close, we were very tight. So it was as if like we are same age. This is how much we used to spend a lot of time with that lady. So that lady came to the flat, our flat, just to check how far am I, how I'm ready am I, because nobody knew what was happening the last night. Only me knew the story of the last night or that morning, early hours of the morning. So I'm ready, I'm preparing, and then I took a bath, and then I did my amateur makeup. I was preparing myself. I looked so good, but I didn't dress. I was just waiting up until my date come to pick me up. So my sister come back around 4:30, just as my other friend come back around 4:30, and obviously we were preparing, and haibo yati 5, yati 5:30, yati 6. Hey, and my sister, my dad used to, when he suspect something, my dad was a police, was a warden prisoner, so he could tell if things are not going well. And every time when someone is doing something wrong, and then he was just going like, So my sister kept on doing those, and I was worried. Why is my sister, because as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't know what happened yesterday. Why is he behaving like this? But collab. He kept on doing those comments, funny comments. And then at 6 p.m., my date, no way. Our event is supposed to start at 6. Yati, 6:30. Dololo. My date is not there to be found, is not calling, and I'm also not having guts to call. And then around 6:30, and then he, now my other friend of mine kept on saying, no, maybe don't worry, probably he's coming, maybe he's delayed. My sister just made a comment, a very weird comment, and just said, mina ngimbone eSport. Okay guys, Sport is a location not far from the town in Bloemfontein. Actually, students used to stay there, and then they will be walking to and from to school on daily basis. It was like a walking distance from that location. So when my sister said ngimbone Sports, I'm like, how? Happy, the crush and the home girl, both are staying at Sport. And now obviously I make 1 + 1 kwapuma 3. I started getting worried to say, this person this morning, he told me that these guys are coming to the event, but he still assured me that I'm still the date. I'm still coming to pick up later on. But now my sister is making this weird comment that really, really ruined my mood. That he saw him at Sports, and obviously he didn't say he was with the lady or who he was. But my sister, the reason that he was putting that comment in that manner, remember I told you that this crush and the home girl and the bookworm and my sister, they were attending the same class. So my sister already knew that the lady who had a crush on bookworm is actually he knew that I knew that this lady, she knew that I knew that the lady is staying at Sports. So he made that comment. So my mood was very ruined to say, oh, okay. I started now thinking, oh, it means like maybe he decided to go with this lady because now he was angry because I admitted that I am seeing the sweaty guy and blah, 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 blah. That was me going like, and I can't even share. I can't even tell my sister what he pelamina. I told this guy that now I'm seeing that Kwaswati guy, because even my sister didn't know that I am having a fling and chatting and flirting with this Swati guy. I just kept quiet, and really I was boiling and boiling. Ngithi kwathi 7. I know that our event is supposed to start at 6. The fact that it was 7, for me in my mind, I was like, I'm no longer going. At around 7:15, there was a knock on the door. Oh, before that, actually around 6:30, ngithi heavy rain. This is when I started thinking that now I'm no longer going. It was like heavy rain. Obviously, as far as I'm concerned, Upukwem doesn't have a car. He has to walk from his rest to come and pick me up. I don't know whether I was going to use a maxi taxi or whatever. But it started raining. At the time, it's raining. By the time he walks in around 7:15, it was like heavy storms, thunderstorms. It was raining. It was like it got too heavy. So in my mind, I'm no longer going. And I'm not dressed. As much as I did my amateur makeup and obviously putting all my clothes on the bed, like woman coat, when you are going to be a bride on the day, you are preparing and putting your clothes on the bed, and then you are ready for so that was me. So he comes, and he was probably expecting me to be sitting dressed for him to pick me up, and he kept on saying, okay, now we can go. I was boiling. I was extremely upset. The only thing that I could just say to him is like, I'm no longer going. He begged and said, why? But we spoke about this and this. I'm like, you can go. I did not say that my sister told me or made that. My sister was not telling me, just in passing, he shared that comment to say, mina ngimbone sports. So, the only thing that I could say is that I'm no longer going. Please go. Please go. My other friend kept on begging me, asking me, let's talk in the bedroom. We'll go to the bedroom. He will tell me, please just go. We'll solve this when you come back. And I'm like, I'm just not going. I kept on saying, not going. Kwashaya 8. I'm not going. Kwashaya 8:30. I am still not willing to go. But at some point, I think even the rain started no longer, there was no rain at that time. Then I decided, let me go. But tell me, this person is a chairperson, and now we have to go to this event, and the event was taking place at, is it President's Hotel? President Hotel, which from Willows to going there, obviously we are supposed to use a maxi taxi at that time, not Uber, not Bolt, not anything, but we're supposed to use a maxi taxi. So moving from where I was staying, going to President's Hotel, it was probably around 10 minutes for us to get there. So around 10 to 9, this is the only time when the maxi taxi come through, and then we left. We are not talking, we are not saying much, because probably he's upset because I did not want to go, and he was expecting me to be. He probably told his friend that he's coming with me and blah, 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 whatever it is. And obviously they also expected that because he knows me as a first lady. So we then go. I remember then we had to walk in that red carpet as a couple. People were excited. People were happy. I looked amazing. People were giving compliments. Guys, the only thing that I could do was to grin. Yes, but I think I only see that grinning from white people. Like, you see that kind of a smile that you are not smiling, you are not happy, but we are just pretending to be smiling. That was me on the day. People were like, wow, at least you guys have came. What happened? And probably people thinking that we delayed because of the rain or whatever it is, but people didn't know the behind the scene. So we got to the event, and this guy is on the program. He has to deliver a speech. And then when we got there, people were taking pictures. It was nice. I think they even had a starter. We just arrived late, and now we have to walk from the door to the first table, because now I'm coming with the chairperson, and we were sitting on the first table where there was leaders and management, so guest speaker. So we're going to sit there, and we sat there. How? Then he comes, and then he shares his speech during the program. The speech was not even prepared, because I know he can speak even well than what he did on the day, and probably he's also disappointed himself. But nobody knew what is happening between these two couples. So there was a point when we went out, take pictures and have drinks, and we sat, and I'm still very bored. I'm not the bubbly person. I'm not dancing, and people know me as a dancer. I love dancing, but that danger was just a different person because of the series of events that took place before we even got there. So now when we're walking in Vele, we are coming through towards our table, we pass the two ladies, which they were the only ladies who were the couple on the day, who were the partners on the day, because everyone else who was there, it was people who are from that race, so it was people with their boyfriends and their girlfriends or partners. But those two ladies, which is home girl and the person who was crushing Bukwem, they were sitting there looking at us. Unfortunately, Bukwem had to hold my hand as we were walking in. Then we got there, we sit down, he shared his speech, we ate, we took pictures, we danced. People were having fun. I didn't have fun. I didn't enjoy that event. I was just there because I am the partner and I had to be there. I remember there was a time when I was sitting with the best friend and the girlfriend, the best friend girlfriends, like the best friend of Bukwem and the girlfriend. So we were sitting there when Bukwem was nowhere to be seen or nowhere to be found. Probably he was out, but we are still going to know about that. And probably we went to take pictures and then we came back and we sat down, and then he never sat down, he just left again. But as I did not want to speak to him. I did not want to have a conversation with him. I was just there because I'm invited in that event. So I was just smiling for no reason. And people were talking to me and I did not want to speak that day. I was bored. But I had to pretend as if I'm fine. And I can do that very, very well. You will be so sure that I am fine, and I was not fine. Okay? It got to a point whereby now he's nowhere to be found. I'm sitting in the table. People are dancing. People are having fun. I'm sitting in the table with this lady who is a girlfriend. And then this lady said to me, let's go and take pictures. And I said, like, no problem. And then we go out to take pictures. As we were walking towards the door, there was a kumbi. It was around, people were starting to leave actually when he said, let's go and take pictures as well. And people were starting to go, like leaving and I think there were kumbis that were taking people back to the race, and some people were using maxi taxis, some people were using that hired kumbi to take them back to the race. So we are coming out with this lady. The first thing that we saw, we see those two ladies that are inside the kumbi. There's this conversation. Bukwem doesn't see me because he's facing the other side, and then those ladies could see me. But I did not want to cause any drama. I just continue to go and take pictures. He only realized later that I'm actually around and I can see what is happening, but I didn't cause any drama. I just kept on doing what I wanted to do, and I was so bored and I really wanted to go. So the kumbi leaves, and then we immediately have to call our own maxi taxis that is gonna take me back to my flat. We do that. The rain was no longer there, it was okay. So we go back to my flat. We get to the flat. Oh, another part that you really the juicy of the story time that I'm about to share now today. What happened is that I didn't have a class bag. So he had my phone, he had my keys, and both of our keys were in the similar key holder. We had the similar key holders. So basically when we were leaving the flat, I gave him my phone as well as my key for our flat. So now we are going back. We get to the flat. We are not talking. We just like it was just a small talk that does not make any sense. We get there. When we go to the door, I'm asking for my key. He put his hand in his pocket. Do you know what came out? His key. My key is nowhere to be found. Okay, where's my key? He was confused. He was asking himself what was happening. Where is the key? can I please have my key? I need to get into the flat. I don't have my key. I need my key. We argue, we talk about it. I want my key. He doesn't have my key. He has his key. I make my 1 plus 1. I got 3. So already I knew that our key holders are looking similar. It was the same key holder. It looks the same. So definitely, he gave his key, my key, to the 2 ladies or the crush or homegirl. He gave my key to them, and now he's left with my key. He was so anxious. He wanted to quickly leave. I don't know for what, but he was like, when a person is anxious, we had to get out of the maxi taxi, and then he has to go and open, then make sure that I'm safe, and then go back. But you could see that he's in a rush. I'm just gonna stop here. You know why? Because the juicy is coming for the following day. What happened on that day is that now I had to knock, and my sister was shocked because he knows, like, we don't share keys. If my sister was not there that day, I'm wondering what was going to happen, because now I had to knock until my sister wakes up. Fortunately, my sister is just like me. She is a light sleeper. So immediately when I knocked, and then she opened, and then she was wondering, where's your key? Why are you making me to wake up and open for you? I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know where he lost my key. And I was just pretending as if I don't know. I don't see exactly what happened. So for me, I already knew that he probably gave those ladies my key. Unfortunately, he's left with my key when he was trying to give them the key, so that when the Kumbi drops them at the rest, he's going to be there. They are going to wait in his room, so that later on he can take them back to sport. Okay, I don't want to stop here because something happened the following day. I don't want to continue. I want to leave it to the event of today, which was the day of the event, whereby I found myself without a key. My date came late. I was angry. I didn't enjoy event. So let's just stop it here, so that on the episode 4 of this Vlogtober, I'm going to share exactly what happened after that. The after that story is coming. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to my story. And please, I am going to link part 2 on this episode, episode 2 on this episode 3, so that you can follow the story, because I am coming and tell you exactly what happened to my key and what happened after that, so that you can enjoy. Thank you for watching, and please don't leave without liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click that notification bell, so that when I upload episode 4, you can be notified. Thank you. Goodbye.